Hey everybody, I am coming to encourage you all again on your celibacy, abstinence, or virginity walk. And I was led to make this video message because a lot of you all are struggling and having a hard time. You're struggling and you're having a hard time as far as staying on this walk, as far as keeping yourself, and some of you all are having a hard time with the pressure that comes along with taking a stance. I have told you all for so many years that the walk is not easy. You are going to be accused of being a liar. You are going to be misunderstood. You are going to be misjudged. Whatever the case is, I want to let you all know that your walk and you keeping yourself is not in vain. Some of you all, you are new to this walk. You are new to this walk as far as you know, being abstinent and being celibate. Okay? And so all of this time that you have been on this walk, you may have dabbled in sex here and there and got back in line. And so sometimes what I found with people that are new to this walk, they get tripped up and they go back to that former life of having sex outside of marriage when the ex-girlfriend or the ex-boyfriend comes back around, or the ex-husband or the ex-wife comes around. And so you all have to understand, when you are in this situation and God has taken you out of a relationship and you have moved forward, you also have to change your mind. You cannot just physically divorce or break up with someone and then you automatically believe or assume that you are still not going to be attracted to them sexually. We are all grown here. We are all grown here. And so I'm going to talk to you all like you grown, because you all are not children. Some of you all, you cannot seem to stay on this walk consistently because your baby daddy, he's the one that got you right sexually. Your baby mother, she's the one that got you right sexually. Your ex-husband was the one that got you right sexually, or your ex-wife was the one that got you right sexually. And so in your mind, when you are thinking of your past sexual relationships with these people, if you are in their vicinity or if they pop up and you have not ironed out your lust and sexual attraction with them, and you have not submitted this stuff to God, it is going to continue to be a battle with you staying consistent on the walk, or with you being really, really tempted to go there with them again. But all I'm telling you all is that something that you all need to really, really understand. Once you have gotten divorced from someone, or once you have broken up with someone, and a considerable amount of time passes, you do not know in your absence and during the breakup who or what that ex has gotten into or who they have been with. You don't know who they've gotten with or who they have been with. You don't know sexually what other men have dabbled in that your ex-wife or ex-girlfriend has slept with. And so if she comes back around and you are still weak for her and you go to bed with her, you might get up and be fighting a very demonic battle, and you don't understand it. And you don't understand it because you didn't look further down. You didn't look further down that rabbit hole. You didn't stop yourself and say, okay, I knew her and who she was sexually when I was with her. But we have been broken up for 6 months, 8 months, 1, 2, 3 years. This is a totally different woman now. Or I'm a totally different man. Or he's a totally different man now. We've been divorced or we've been broken up for 6, 8, 10 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3, 4 years. Okay? And I know that it's hard to separate your mind sometimes and your memories and your thoughts from your heart. It is very hard. I remember a mighty woman of God said, she was preaching and she said, yeah, I got a divorce, but my body wasn't divorced from my ex-husband. And that is a real thing. And again, to be transparent, I told you all in some videos I made years ago that the first year after I was divorced from my ex-husband, I went back and started having sex with him. The very last time that I had sex, which was over 10 years ago, was with my ex-husband. That was the last time. And it's a real thing, because you will divorce someone or you will break up with someone because of how they are treating you or various things that are going on in the relationship, but it doesn't mean that you are not still in love with them. It doesn't mean that you don't still have feelings for them. So in this video message, all I'm telling you all is that you have to really fight, and you have to really be putting your feelings and those thoughts and those emotions and sexual desires for these ex-spouses and ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriends before God. You need to be putting this stuff on the altar, because if you have gone a considerable amount of time being celibate or abstinent, and you are feeling weak, or you are feeling like, I want to go back to that lifestyle, now you have to ask yourself, why do you want to go back to that lifestyle? Who or what is tempting you? Have you been masturbating and that is making you want the real thing? Have you been watching porn and that is making you desire and crave the real thing? Are you still battling and struggling and conflicted with feelings with the ex-husband, the ex-wife, the ex-boyfriend, or the ex-girlfriend? In actuality, and this just came to me as I was talking, it literally just came to my spirit. There are some of you all, you have feelings for several people simultaneously. You have feelings for several people simultaneously. So some of you all, I'm going to be honest, and I say it in love, but I got to be real with you all. You all are in a dangerous place, because you're still in love with the ex-husband or the ex-wife, but you're also in love with the two exes before you got married to that ex-wife or that ex-husband. Or those of you who have never been married, you still have feelings for 2 or 3 of your other exes. You still thinking about that man or that woman, I'm sorry, that you had the one night stand with. All these different feelings, all these different thoughts, all these different emotions are coming up in you all. And now you're like, how am I struggling? How am I battling? Why do I want to go back to this? You never close the door. You never close the door. Once you got that divorce, you should have immediately, first of all, during the course of the divorce, you should have been praying. I'm not saying that that's what I was doing over the course of my divorce, which is why within the first year after I did divorce my ex-husband, I got right back into bed with him when he came around. Because again, look, my body and my emotions were not divorced from him. I still loved him and I was still holding on to that. And you all have to understand too, the person that took your virginity, sometimes that is a struggle as well. Okay? That they were your first everything. I was just talking to someone that's near and dear to me today, and I was letting this person know that you just broke up with this person, but you need to really be strong now, because you're strong and you're adamant on wanting to move forward with your life, and you are not thinking about them now. But in the midnight hour, or when you are by yourself and you are feeling vulnerable, you may go back to how they performed with you sexually. And if you go on and you are still missing them, and you are not submitting your thoughts and your feelings and emotions before God, you may fall. So I am just giving this information and releasing another video message to encourage those of you in the body of Christ. And I even want to encourage those of you who are not saved, but you are abstinent, you are celibate, or even those of you who are a virgin. You have never had sex and you are thinking about it. You are thinking about a particular person. You trust them and you are attracted to them and you want them, and you're like really debating, like, is he or she the right one to give myself to? I'ma just tell you guys, it's too much on the line. You have come too far. God has brought so many of us way too far in this walk to just throw it away. And I am not saying that it's easy. I told you all in a post that I put up today, we crave and desire human touch, contact, and intimacy. But you have to get to a point where you crave and you desire intimacy and a personal relationship and more contact with God, because it's only under the mantle of God and the power of God that you will be able to stay on this walk and not compromise yourself or fall. I'm not saying that you won't make a mistake. I tell you all, if you have fallen, get back up. Get back up and you keep going. You don't beat yourself up. You just don't stay there. Don't stay there. But I want to let you all know, if you have feelings for several different people at one time, you need to go and you need to close those doors. You all need to stop contacting exes. Some of you all, your exes sense, they can smell when you talk to them. If you still have that door, because some of you all, you are still talking to ex-husbands. You are still talking to your ex-wife. You are still talking to ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriends, and they see your stance. They see your strength. They see that you caught on to them gaslighting you. They see that you caught on to them manipulating you. They see that you caught on to them breadcrumbing you. They see that you caught on to them sending the flying monkeys to hover around you and to take back pieces of information on what you're doing in your life now. And some of them initially didn't know that you took this stance of celibacy or being abstinent, but because you've talked and revealed it to certain people who may be a family member or a mutual friend that you are still cool with, they have gone back and told them. And so don't think it's strange that now that ex is texting you. Now they are calling you. Now they are saying, I just want to be cool with you. I want you to be happy. I want the best for you. You better be discerning and know when the enemy is at work. And hey, if God is going to reconcile you to an ex because God is doing something different, be in the face of God and be sure, be clear on if that is what God is doing. But besides that, on this walk, stay encouraged. Stay in the fight. You have fought too hard to come out of sexual immorality and sin or perversion for you to go back. You have fought too hard. Some of you all, you went through so much where you kept giving your body to a man or to a woman that you knew for a fact they did not really want you. They did not really love you. They did not really take you seriously. They were not really that attracted to you. They don't even find you attractive. You are not their type. They only used your body and used you for sexual gratification and climax. I just got to keep it real with some of you all. And so if you know you were that woman who every time you started dating a guy and you went out with a guy and you really liked him and you were really feeling him and you had sex with him a few times and he stopped calling you, he stopped responding to your text, he always had an excuse when you were confronting him and coming at him like, wait, we just had all this great sex and love making, I thought, the other day, and you haven't called me, it's been 2 weeks. Or he's calling you and texting you when he's drunk and he's out with his boys. I'ma tell you, ladies, open up your eyes. And through your tears and your shame and embarrassment, if this fits you, and if you have experienced this, now you have the power and the strength to turn it around. You have got to turn off the feelings and the emotions and even your body and what your body wants. You got to cut your flesh. And when it really starts to act up, you really, even before it act up, you got to be putting this stuff before God constantly. Because the temptation is out here. You can't just hide. You got to live your life. You're going to be going to work. You're going to be going to church. You're going to be going in the streets and running errands and doing different things. It's unavoidable. It's inevitable that you are going to have this battle or you are going to be faced with these things. But I want you all to be strong. Don't you let this evil, perverse world or podcasters who are carnal and who one breath they talk about God and how they love God, but in the next breath they promote sex. They promote having a side chick or a side dude. They promote adultery. Don't you dare let these people convince you that having a little bit of sex here and there is okay and you are not married. Having sex outside of marriage is taking you out the will of God. Sin separates man from God. And once you get to that level and you are out the will of God, there are going to be so many things you have to deal with. There have been people that have been on a walk of celibacy or abstinence, or they have been a virgin and they have been disobedient and gone out and had sex one time and they ended up pregnant. Some people have disobeyed and they've walked outside the will of God and they had sex one time and they got HIV, they got AIDS, they got another STD. They stepped out, they got their heart broken. They stepped out, their reputation got damaged. This is real stuff that goes on. And so me as the open, willing vessel under the umbrella of God, I am coming to encourage all of my brothers and sisters, the young ones, the middle-aged ones, and the old ones of all races. I'm telling you all, stay on the walk. Be prayerful. Be discerning. Use wisdom. Turn your body off. If you are struggling with porn, put that on the altar. Tell God. Tell God, God, I like watching porn. It keeps me together. It relaxes me. Tell God, God, I like masturbating. Ladies, you got that rose? I have had friends that have asked me, do I want them to buy me a little device or a little mechanism to please myself? And I tell them, no, thank you. These are real things that are going on. You all think because we saved or because we sanctified and we believe in God that we are not faced with stuff and people that are in the world. This is stuff that is coming at us and we cannot avoid it. But there are ways that you can dismiss it and get around it. Okay? So all I'm telling you guys is that you stay on the walk, but put your struggles before God. Just because you feel a certain way don't mean you give in to it. Put it on the altar. You don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to be embarrassed. Tell God. Tell God, God, I like watching porn. Tell him why you like watching it. Tell God you like masturbating. Explain to him why you like doing that. Tell God, God, I'm battling because I'm not with this person anymore, but I still love him. I still love her. God, cleanse my heart, cleanse my spirit. My emotions are all over the place. I don't want to see them with somebody else. I left them because they were abusive to me and they were treating me wrong, but God, I still love them. I wanted to send a message to them. Do you all know how hard that battle is when somebody abused you and mistreated you, but you still love them? You may have physically left them, but your feelings are still there. That's two different battles and two different fights. And I think that this stuff needs to be discussed, and I think it needs to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? It took me a very long time when I divorced my ex-husband to get from that place. But God got me from that place. But I understand in this fight and on this walk, you all could possibly be battling so many different things. So just in our community, let's talk about it. Let's expose it, because deliverance is available for you. It's available for you. Okay? And I'm probably going to go live about this topic maybe tomorrow. So prepare yourselves for that. I will be back to talk more about this, because you all really, really need to be encouraged. And you don't see a lot of people in the kingdom of God preaching about this. I don't know if it's because it's a taboo subject. I don't know if a lot of ministers and men and women of God, they are guilty of being involved in the things that I'm speaking against. It's various things that's going on. We don't know everybody's story. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But guys, deliverance is available. God is available to help you. He is your helper. God is your deliverer. Don't be fooled. You can overcome anything through the power of God. God tells you that in the word. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You do not have to be in sin. You do not have to be in bondage. Jesus Christ died on the cross and took the fall for mankind. He nailed every single sin to the cross. You don't have to be in the middle of it, feeling like it's no hope. That's the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have been offended by anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay. It's all right. I am not worried about it. I am not concerned, because I know you will forgive me in the morning.